My name is Kirsty, and I am one of the co-managers of the Baillie Gifford US Growth Trust. Up front, we wanted to say that we are disappointed. We've asked you to judge us over the long term, and as shareholders and managers of the Baillie Gifford US Growth Trust, this is not the performance we look to deliver at the Trust's 5th anniversary. We launched the Trust with the belief that a fund with a 5+ year horizon that can invest in the most exceptional public and private growth businesses in the US brought something different to the market and had the opportunity to deliver outsized returns. We continue to believe that to be the case. When we began, 0% of the portfolio was invested in private companies. At the end of May, that number stood at over 34%. We had 2 private companies in the top 10 and 6 in the top 20. This is something to be celebrated, not feared. These companies are some of the most important forces behind future progress. It has been a volatile period. We have experienced multiple once-in-a-generation events since the Trust was founded: a global pandemic, war, and supply shocks. With such turbulence, it's easy to overlook the fundamental progress of the companies held in the Trust. Zipline, the drone delivery company, was our first private investment. At the year end, it stood at over 2% of the Trust. Zipline is now the largest autonomous drone delivery company on Earth, having flown more than 40 million commercial autonomous miles, and is on track to make twice as many deliveries this year as all previous years combined. And with Zipline's home delivery system launching 2 months ago in the US, they really are just getting started. SpaceX, the Trust's largest holding, makes rockets and satellites. In 2018, they made 21 launches, about half of which made successful ground landings. In 2022, the company launched 61 orbital missions, nearly doubling its single-year record of 31. SpaceX have recently relaunched one of its Falcon rockets for the 15th time, and by making its service much cheaper, driven by the reusability of its rockets, SpaceX has 2/3 market share of the launch market. And the company is leveraging its cost advantage to move into the communications sector via Starlink, a low-Earth orbital satellite constellation to deliver broadband to rural and hard-to-reach areas. It already has over 1 million customers. And COO Glyn Shotwell has publicly stated that Starlink recorded its first quarter of positive free cash flow in 2022. And will make money in 2023, joining the core launch business, which already makes money. Of course, the progress of companies in the Trust has not been a linear journey, nor will it be from here. But valuable companies can emerge even in the most disturbed environment. We must remember that disturbance can renew as well as destroy. We see this in nature, where the raising of a forest enables new life to flourish. Periods of great disturbance and change create opportunities for innovation because they enable heterogeneity, and the possibility of alternative landscapes and new ways of doing things emerge, which helps to drive progress. However, not unlike the raising of a forest, damage will be done. For some companies, the damage, whether the consequence of unsustainable business models or an over-reliance on cheap access to capital, will be fatal. For some, the damage is painful but survivable. For others, the changed landscape marks a significant opportunity. Those companies which survive and adapt to the macroeconomic environment can emerge stronger than before. And those that do are likely to be far more valuable in future. To the end of May, turnover was low at 7.1%. Reflecting our belief in the companies we own. Having revisited the upside cases for most of the Trust's holdings, we continue to believe in the underlying investment opportunities. We added several new listed holdings to the portfolio over the last year: Roblox, Sweetgreen, and Doximity. Roblox is an online gaming and game creation platform with a strong market share in the 9 to 12-year-old demographic and looking to age up into more lucrative cohorts. Sweetgreen is a salad chain The company is early in its store rollout. Still, its strong brand, positive store economics, creative management team, and clear path to self-sustainability led us to take a position. Doximity's vision is to become the Bloomberg of medicine. The company has created free-to-use products which improve quality and productivity within a social network for doctors. And it monetizes by selling hyper-targeted, unobtrusive advertising to pharmaceutical companies. We made one additional private investment over the course of the year, taking our total to 25. These purchases were funded by various complete sales. Teladoc, Appian, and Butterfly Networks did not play out as expected. Carvana and First Republic were victims of the macroeconomic environment, and Abiomed was acquired by Johnson & Johnson. To conclude, when surrounded by noise and volatility, taking a step back and gaining perspective is difficult, but it is essential to do so. The barrier between what is and what could be has never felt lower. As a child, movies and sci-fi books talked about quantum computing, artificial intelligence, space travel, drone delivery, software code as medicine, and biology's power to solve the world's problems. These topics are no longer a figment of imagination. The Trust owns companies addressing each: PsiQuantum, NVIDIA, SpaceX, Zipline, Moderna, and Ginkgo Bioworks. The future feels closer than it has ever been before, and that is indicative of a world that's ripe with opportunity. As managers of the Baillie Gifford US Growth Trust, the worst thing we could do right now is go against the philosophy that underpins our approach and try and fix performance, focusing on the short term at the expense of the long term. Given the opportunities in front of the companies the trust invests in, we cannot panic and pro-cyclically turn defensive. We will not get every investment right, but we have underwritten the investment cases for the companies held in the portfolio, and we are excited about their long-term potential. The forest has been raised. We must not trample on the seedlings before they have had a chance to flourish.